The troubles of life. I think a lot of kids, well, when you're a baby, what trouble can you get into? Your mom or your dad's holding you and you throw up on their back. Well, you can't help that. You know, you're crying about something you're scared of and it's bothering people. Well, that goes with the scenario. You're a kid, you're a baby. Then you start getting a little older, start making friends, and things start slipping into your life. The cookie jar. You know, your old mommy and daddy. They don't want you sneaking out cookies. You're going to be eating in an hour or two. Well, some kids might start out their life a crime with that cookie jar. They don't see any harm. Cookies are there. They taste good. So they snatch out a cookie and they eat it. Try to keep it a secret. It's not really that bad. They were told not to do it, so they disobeyed. That's what makes it worse. They disobeyed their parents. And I think in my life, overwhelmingly, I've tried to stay out of trouble. Sometimes people do things that are considered wrong by others. There's laws. And you might do some of these things and you don't really feel guilty about it because you don't see the harm in it. And I think about some stupid things I've done when I was younger. I'm thinking about eggs. Now, eggs. What possible trouble could you get in with eggs? No, it wasn't a cookie jar filled with eggs. Basically, it was hanging out on the street with my friends, and we had an egg problem. First time it happened, well, it was me and a couple buddies, and there was this girl. We kind of liked the girl. And she didn't like her neighbor. And she came up with this idea of getting even with her neighbor. So she bought some eggs. And us boys, trying to impress her, we're going to do this for her, you know. So we went up to this neighbor's house of hers and threw eggs all over it. Had a good laugh. And we go running away, and there's still a couple eggs left, and there was a store there, and the store we still had some mischief in us, and we took some apples and threw them on the roof of the store. Well, the guy's inside, and he hears these apples hitting. He calls the cops, or it might have been the lady, this neighbor lady, of the person who owned the house we egged, and I had no clue who this lady was or anything. I forget if she had a husband or not. Anyway, we throw these apples, and they're bouncing off this store roof, and next thing you know, all of a sudden a cop car comes pulling up, and there we are with these eggs. And the cop goes, "What are you doing, boys?" Nothing, sir." "What are you hiding behind your back?" Well, it was the eggs. We had the eggs behind our back. Well, I let the eggs kind of drop behind my back. They splattered on the ground. "What did you drop, boy?" Well, the cop's out of the car, sees the eggs. Put two and two together. Think I caught these boys. It must have been the lady that called the cops, because once he seen we had eggs, he realized that we were the kids who had egged this house. He's, "Get in the car, boys." Well, we're scared now. We're shaking in our boots. I forget how old we were. I don't know, 10, 11 maybe. He drives us to the police station, and we're sitting in there, and of course I had to call the parents up, and they picked us up. Turns out this lady who had the house was a nice lady. I don't know what the problem was with the girl we were trying to impress and this lady, but this lady didn't press charges against us kids. And she's given us iced tea and cookies. All we had to do was clean these eggs up. Now it's the next day, and the eggs are all dried on the outside of her house, and she had a brick house, and we were scrubbing away for an hour or two, and she just wanted to know why we did it, and we felt bad about it. So did I learn my lesson? Did I learn my lesson? No. Eggs. Now, how do eggs figure into my life again? I don't know, about a year later. I don't know, I think it was the same friend or friends I was with. The first egging incident. We're walking down the street, and there's a couple older kids, kind of tough kids, and they got eggs. And they're like, we're going to egg this house. You going to do it? Of course, like a couple of fools, we wanted to impress these older kids. So, yeah, okay, we'll do it. So we get these eggs, and we throw them. Splat all over this house. Well, the people inside heard it. I don't know if some hit their window. I think they did. Didn't break it. Next thing you know, this guy comes running out of the house, and he's built like a football player. He's as big as you can imagine. And we all start running. Well, unfortunately, I was the tail end of this pack of kids running, and this guy tackles me and grabs me and drags me back to the house. Now, I'm the sole guy caught for doing this. And they wanted to know why I did it. And I said, well, because, I don't know, these kids wanted to do it, and I just wanted to seem like I was cool like they are. Well, then these people, was the guy, I think his mother, and they were nice to me. And they said, well, we won't call the cops on you, but you're going to come tomorrow and you're going to clean these eggs off. So there I was the next day, all by myself, scrubbing eggs again off a house. Guess what? Now I learned my lesson. I'm happy to say I wasn't an adult doing this. I was just a stupid kid. But I can't help thinking, it wasn't the only time I got in trouble since then. Not with eggs, but some unwise decisions of doing something or saying something that got me in trouble one way or another. I'm happy to say, pretty much, now that I'm an older gentleman, that I try to keep out of trouble. The trouble has a way of finding me sometimes. Yeah, it does. I think I try to portray myself for who I am by talking certain ways. I think the totality of who a human is contains all kinds of things beyond your civil way of talking. And depending on who you share some of your crazier ideas with, it could either be okay, or you might find yourself in trouble one day over it. When am I ever going to learn? Well, folks, if you got any stories of some stupid thing you did, be interesting to have you share it. So, have fun if you're going to share something. See you later.